What's up, everybody? It's Meech. You're tuned into On the Radar, where we cover health, fitness, and tech. Currently on the radar, we're talking about credit. So I told you guys we're going to start diving into that. So I want to run over some basics. Now, this is just a preliminary. I just want to touch on some stuff. I want to get you guys, just get some information out there, start, sparking your mind. If you do know, if you don't know, there's a lot of misconceptions, all that stuff. So like I said, I want to just throw some stuff out there and then we'll dive deeper into this stuff later, but I just want to make you guys aware of just some general stuff. So jumping right into it, a lot of people don't understand credit. A lot of people don't get taught the importance of credit, the value of credit, and how to manage and actually set up your credit. And we're going to be getting into all of that. Credit can literally change your life for the better. A lot of people are afraid of credit because they just look at it as a negative aspect. They look at it as being in debt, and they're like, all right, I don't want to be in debt. I got enough issues. You have to, understand the basis of it and how to look at it and how to strategize. Your credit score will range from 300 to 850. Obviously, if you're in the range of 300s, it's terrible. A lot of people can't even get started with building their credit. They can't even get access. And a lot of people don't understand how to even get started. We can get into that also. I'm going to jump around, so just keep up with me. Take notes if you have to. But again, to be clear, we're going to double back and touch on everything and go in depth. So just off the bat, there's three major credit reporting agencies: is Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. If you don't know your credit score, you should sign up for. There's a lot of places where you can check your credit. Like you can sign up for Experian, you can sign up for Credit Karma, you can sign up for Credit Sesame. Sign up for one of those; they're free. They do have the different stuff that you can pay for, but sign up for the free one. Figure out your credit score, start there, and start building. Now, there's different things like inquiries, credit history, credit utilization, all these different things that go into factoring into your credit score. We're going to touch on all of that stuff, but you just have to know there's a lot of different factors that goes into determining your credit score. It's not just one particular thing. Some people think, oh, I didn't pay my bill, so this and that. It's a lot of other things, but paying your bills on time is very important. So look at it like this, because as I said, I know people that they're afraid of credit because they don't understand. Look at it like this: having credit available will literally change your life, because if there's certain jobs that they won't hire you if your credit's not good. They run a credit check on you. You can't get housing, you can't get car loans, you can't buy property. There's tons of things where your credit comes into play, because they look at it and say, if you can't manage money and you can't manage certain situations, you're a risk. So if they look at your credit history, they say, all right, well, you don't pay your bills, so I'm not sure if you're going to be paying your rent. I'm not sure if I'm going to trust you with this car loan, or if I do give you the car loan, your credit history is bad, your credit score is bad, because you're a risk. So we're going to give you a high interest rate, because this is how these companies make money, off of the interest. So if you're not paying the money back, the interest accumulates, and then that's how they make their money. So if you're more of a risk, they're going to give you a higher interest rate. As your score increases and your credit history is good, you get lower interest rates, so because you're less of a risk. So just understand that. There's just in life, if you want to succeed, you need good credit. The thing about it is to learn how to strategize, learn how to make your credit work for you. So as I was saying, a lot of people are afraid of credit, but it will change your life. What I mean by that is, just look at it like this. Most of the time when we're in a jam, we either have very limited cash or we have no cash. So when we get into a jam, we're like, how am I going to pay for this situation? Let's say you get into a car accident or just whatever. You get into a jam. And when you have credit available and a good amount of credit, you can just take your credit card and take care of it. It eases the struggle on your life. It eases that everyday life stress that you have when you can't figure out how you're going to pay for a situation. A lot of us unknowingly go through issues where we're stressed out just thinking of things that might possibly happen. You might not even be aware of it, but just having that comfort, knowing that if something comes up that I don't expect, I have money available where I can just take it and cover it. Yes, you're going to have to worry about paying off that credit card, but just that initial issue, that initial thing, you can be at ease saying, I can cover that. Don't worry about it. And believe me, that right there, that alone will change your life. It'll reduce your overall stress levels a million. So a lot of people they don't understand how to properly manage your credit. And I told you, I'm going to be jumping around. So I know you're like, wait, you're talking about managing credit, but you're not telling me how to get credit, how to establish credit. We're going to get there. I just want to stay with me. The best thing, so you know, what a lot of people get into trouble when it comes to, they get credit cards and they automatically, whatever their balance is, people automatically say, oh my God, I got money, I can spend, what can I go buy? I want to go shopping, I want to do this. They just go crazy because they say, what can I buy? Now I have access to things I didn't have access to before. And what they typically do is you can make these monthly payments. So the average person says, all right, well, you make a purchase and you say, all right, $20 a month, no big deal. Then you buy something else and you say, okay, well, it's going to go up to $35 a month. No big deal. I can cover that. That's nothing. Then, you keep compounding and buying more stuff. And then your thing gets up to, let's say you owe $2,000 before you know it, because it's so easy to swipe because you're using money you don't have, right? So you say to yourself, all right, well, I owe $2,000. I just got to pay $100 a month. That's nothing. I can do that. And that sounds cool. It sounds easy, but the problem is you might not have paid attention to your interest rate and you might not understand the interest rate. Now, if your interest rate is high, that money that you're not paying back is going to accumulate interest. Now, you're looking at it saying, all right, $100 a month. Okay, cool. But And if you're just paying the minimum payment each month, it's going to start accumulating interest. So before you know it, your bill might be now $130 a month. Your bill might be $150 a month. And if you're just paying the minimum, most of that money just ends up going back to paying off the interest rate. It's not actually paying off your actual debt. So it starts building and building, and before you know it, you're stressed, you're in a jam. All the money's out of your account, you're in the red, you're stressed, you don't have enough money coming in, you're like, oh my God, then you just leave it. And then it just keeps piling up. And then you might even get stressed and get rid of the card and cancel the account. And then the card is in collections, you're in shambles, your credit score is super low, and you like, yo, that was the worst thing I've ever done. Then you either say to yourself, okay, I don't care, so what? I got a bunch of free money, I ain't gonna pay them, who cares? Or you might say to yourself, this was so stressful, it was such a bad experience, I'm never gonna do this again because I don't know how I'm gonna pay this off. I don't know how I'm gonna get my credit score back up. This is too much drama, I can't do it. Those are all of the things that you can't be afraid of, but you have to understand how to navigate so that you don't fall into those situations. Because when you understand credit, learn how to understand how to use credit, it benefits you. So let me explain this to you. The best practice is when you make purchases, you don't make purchases you don't use your credit card to get you out of jams unless you have money coming in. If you don't have money already coming in that you can use the credit card now to take care of that situation early, but then you can pay it back off in full and you're not in any situation, that's cool. But if you know you don't have the money coming in, you don't use that credit card to get you out of a jam. Realistically, if you're in jams, you're probably usually in jams. Don't use the credit card for that. Handle your jams on your own. Use your credit card to build your credit and to build your credit history. Also, what the best thing to do is you take the money that you already have. So you use your credit card for the things that you would already usually spend your money on, everyday purchases and like your bills. Because if you get a card, for instance, that gives you rewards, like let's say I have some different cards that gives me 2% rewards, right? So that means every dollar that I spend on that credit card, I'm getting 2% in return. So I'm making money by spending money. Versus if I'm using my debit card, every time I swipe that card, there's money coming out, there's nothing coming back in. There's no return, there's no incentive for me to spend my money. Versus if I'm using a credit card that has a reward system, there's an incentive for me to spend that money and use that card. You just use it for the things that you would normally spend. You don't go buying extra stuff to accumulate points. That doesn't make any sense. So just hypothetically speaking, using numbers, if I have the majority of my bills coming off of my credit card, obviously I would have to have a decent balance on that card, a decent credit limit. if I'm using my everyday purchases, grocery stores, you know, gas, all that regular stuff, and my bills, let's say my expenses for the year is $20,000. You may end up making, if you have a 2% back cash card, you may end up making, let's say, $300 to $600 back for the year. So a lot of us say, okay, I'm getting 2% back. What's 2%? 2% is nothing, but it adds up. And if you're using it for all of your purchases throughout the year, again, if you end up spending $20,000 in a year in total, you get back $300 to $600. That's great. Who wouldn't want that back? Versus, like, again, if you're using your debit card, that money's coming out and you're not getting nothing back. So there's tons of different ways to strategize depending on what you need to do. What kind of cards you have, all that type of stuff. I want to get into all of this stuff in detail, but I just want you guys to start understanding that there's a real strategy for having credit, and you shouldn't be afraid. One of the best things is you pay your credit on. So again, like I was saying, if I'm making everyday purchases with my credit card, I'm typically using money that I already have, is already in my account. I would already be swiping my debit card. I legitimately now, I don't use my debit card for anything unless I have to pull money out of the bank for anything. And I generally don't use any cash. I typically keep anywhere from $20 to $40 in cash on me. And most of the time, I don't have even that on me. Because at a certain point, you start to realize, unless it's in certain situations, the cash is useless. And the cash, using it, whether you're using physical cash or you're using your debit card, it's not benefiting you. It's not making you any money. So I personally use my credit cards for everything because I'm making cash back on every purchase. So again, we're going to get into all this stuff, but I just want you to start understanding and start knowing. So we're going to cut it there because I don't want to talk for a million years. But there's a whole bunch of other stuff I want to touch on, so I need you guys to tune in. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and hit that notification bell so when I put up these other videos, you will be alerted. As I said, I'm going to cover everything from the credit scores, credit history, understanding your credit, how to use your credit, how many cards you get, because a lot of people who have credit cards, they might not understand, and they don't want to get a whole bunch of cards because they think it's going to get them in all this trouble and stuff like that. It's actually, people don't realize the more credit cards you have, the better. It's in your best interest to have numerous credit cards. You just have to strategize, know how to use them, know what cards to get, and it'll benefit you. So it's a myth thinking if somebody has too many credit cards, it's a problem. No, it's not true. I want to tell you guys about payment history, the elements of your credit scores, inquiries, how to remove bad, negative stuff off your credit cards, why authorized users is important, all that type of stuff. It's a ton of different stuff. So definitely, again, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll be alerted. Any questions you might have, leave it in the comment section. If it's specific questions, I'll start putting that stuff in the videos. But trust me, you're going to want to know this information, because even if you have credit, I've realized from talking to people, even people who have had credit for a long time, they have credit cards, there's still a lot of information that they don't know. There's a lot of just misinformation, and there's just a lot of stuff that people don't understand. So it doesn't matter what your situation is. You have credit, no credit, you need to know this stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I'm going to be helping you guys with. So again, I don't want to talk too long because we'll be here all day. But again, tune in. Till next time, stay focused, stay fit. Please hit that comment. That I'm thinking too much because I want to give you guys more information. Stay focused, stay fit. I'm all messed up right now. Listen, just hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Salute. Let's talk in the comment section. I'm out of here.